Hello and welcome to the news of NTA International. I am Obiageli Ogwoke. First, we begin with the headlines. President Muhammadu Buhari put to rest insinuations of tenure elongation. Onga President reaffirms United Nations commitment to global peace and security. Plus, Nigeria and other African countries collaborate to fight corruption on the continent. And now the details. The National Executive Council meeting of the All Progressives Congress APC has ended at the party National Secretariat, Abuja. President Muhammad Buhari, Vice President Oshibajo, APC National Chairman, state governors and other NEC members are in attendance. President Buhari, in his remarks, advised party members to adhere strictly to the party constitution and work towards ensuring victory at all levels. President Buhari says he has no intention to contest for tenure in office, but will support the process to produce a credible candidate in APC by 2023. Turning now to Kogi West rerun, President Muhammad Buhari has formally put to rest the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) has fixed 30th November 2019 for the conduct of the supplementary and rerun election for Kogi West Senatorial District and Abuja Federal Constituency. A statement by INEC National Commissioner for Information, Festus Okoye, assures the people of Kogi West and the contestants that the collation procedures shall be in line with extant guidelines for collation at the supplementary polls, and the Commission will be fair to all. The list of affected registration areas and polling units will be uploaded on the Commission's website before the election. The supplementary and rerun election in Kogi West Senatorial District became necessary following the margin in votes between the top two contenders. Smart Adeyemi of the APC scored 80,118, while Dino Melaye of the PDP scored 59,548, with registered voters of 144,248. The difference stands at 20,570. In the meantime, President Muhammadu Buhari has approved the renewal of the appointment of VOCS as Director General of the National Identity Management Commission. A statement signed by the General Manager of Presence and Corporate Communications of NIMSI, Hamid Umar, indicates that the letter of renewal conveyed by Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, states that the President joins the DG to continue with the good work he is doing in consonance with the federal government's stance of integrity, transparency, and accountability. In the meantime, the federal government has described as unrelenting its commitment towards ensuring that all Nigerians have access to affordable, efficient, and equitable healthcare services without any risk of impoverishment. President Muhammadu Buhari stated this at the 2019 presidential parliament with participants of the Senior Executive Course 41 of the National Institute for Policy and Strategic Studies. State House correspondent Adam Sambo has details.
One nation in freedom. After a series of lectures, brainstorming sessions, as well as study tours that lasted 10 months, participants of the Senior Executive Course 41 of the National Institute are here to present their report to the President on funding universal healthcare delivery in Nigeria. The theme was thoroughly researched at the instance of the Nigerian leader in furtherance of his desire to fundamentally transform the healthcare sector and improve the well-being of the citizens.
I can inform Mr. President confidently that this report is a product of a thoroughgoing and painstaking engagement with relevant stakeholders and critical analysis of the issues and challenges in funding universal healthcare in Nigeria. prayer that government will adopt many of the usable recommendations as part of the ongoing efforts at making healthcare accessible and affordable to all citizens.
Professor Galadima is, however, worried that despite being Nigeria's apex policy and strategy think tank, NIBS is under-patronized and underutilized, saying ministries, departments and agencies rarely consult with the institute in developing their policies and strategies.
Let me reaffirm the commitment of the National Institute to always work in the best interest of our great nation and its people.
President Muhammadu Buhari thanked the participants and indeed the institute for the good work being done towards supporting national development aspirations. He described the findings and recommendations of the Executive Course 41 participants on funding universal healthcare delivery as very innovative and useful.
I assure you that the Ministry of Health and all relevant agencies will be directed to review this submission and ensure its integration into our ongoing policies and programs. Nigeria is signatory to the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals and is committed to achieving the universal health coverage aspiration by 2030.
The president, who used the opportunity to congratulate the National Institute on its 40th anniversary, promised the continued support of his administration towards addressing prevailing challenges.
There is no doubt that the Institute, despite its funding challenges, has discharged its responsibilities as the nation's apex health think tank.
During the presidential parley, the participants, as well as the board and management of the institute, formally expressed appreciation to President Muhammadu Buhari for selflessly steering the ship of the Nigerian state back on course from what they described as very murky waters. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
And after just 2 months as the President of the United Nations General Assembly, Professor Tijani Muhammad Bande, says the new mission of the United Nations on global peace and security, among others, is enhancing the image of the organization in the eyes of the global community. Professor Bande said this while on a visit to the Minister of Foreign Affairs as part of his official engagements in Nigeria. Usman Aliyu has the details.
This is more than just a visit. It is a mission by the United Nations to project how countries such as Nigeria can address global challenges on peace and security, education, poverty eradication, climate change, as well as women and youth inclusion in the contemporary development agenda. President of the United Nations General Assembly, Professor Tijani Bande, acknowledges Nigeria's achievements, describing the feat as a serious success, particularly in the fight against terrorism.
The United Nations system has supported the effort of Nigeria in dealing with the regional problem of Boko Haram. And glad that by all accounts we are seeing light at the end of the tunnel. And we commend the efforts of Nigeria for leading the other countries in the region to come together under whatever platforms are possible.
The support Nigeria is getting from the United Nations in social and economic sectors have been enormous, and this kind of platform provides the opportunity to assure the paramount global organization that the federal government is seriously working to realize its development vision.
Your vision is one that this country, this government identifies with, and it also responds to our priorities as a government. So we will work hand in hand with you to achieve those goals.
The United Nations General Assembly is one of the 6 principal organs of the United Nations in which all member nations have equal representation. In Abuja, Usman Aliyu, NTA News.
From global peace, we turn to African cooperation. The attainment of the African Union Convention on Prevention and Combating of Corruption can be achieved by cooperation among all African countries in the areas of expertise and assistance. Hamad Jabani reports that this synergy gave birth to the training of personnel of corruption agencies in Africa by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission at its academy in Abuja.
Abraham Sheriff and Patricia Brima are among 10 staff of Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission that participated in a 2-week training on capacity development, technical assistance and information exchange.
I'm going to enhance a lot of things from what we do in Monrovia, Liberia, in terms of the fight against corruption.
So the importance in the fight against corruption, because corruption is very serious in Africa. So we need to put our feet down in fighting corruption.
Acting Chairman, Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, Ibrahim Magu, who is a strong advocate in the fight against corruption, explained corruption not restricted to any boundary. The fight must therefore be without limitations.
And we have entered a lot of mutual MOU with several countries on the need to exchange information and intelligence. And if need be, we'll go to their country and operation will be conducted jointly.
Go out there to the public, to the MDAs, and so on, work with them to prevent even corruption from taking place.
For the Liberian government, the training of its citizens will help the country's move towards national development.
It will enable the instilling of our new institutions the basic tenets of integrity and of a value system that appreciates honesty, hard work, and humility.
The likes of Abraham and Patricia believe that the training received by EFCC Academy should be extended to other African countries to fulfill the African Union's Convention in preventing and combating corruption. Hamman Jabani, NTA News.
Turning now to Guinea-Bissau presidential election. The ECOWAS Election Observation Mission in Guinea-Bissau says it expects a credible election as the country goes to poll to elect a new president come November 24th. Correspondent Musbah Danwahab has been observing the situation as Guinea-Bissau seeks solution to its recent political unrest.
Ambience is of election fever in Guinea-Bissau capital. The political parties are selling their respective visions. The electorates across the country are on a mission. They are in search of the political stability which Mariam Kamara confirms has been missing for years.
The country is stagnant, and we, as Guineans, we want to recover everything.
ECOWAS believes the presidential election put for November 24 has a solution to the country's political revolution. The incumbent president, Jose Mario Val, has done what no president or prime minister has ever achieved in the history of the country since 1974, completing a 5-year term in office. And now is set to blaze the trail again, contesting for another term in office. The incumbent president is now running as an independent candidate after parted ways with his party, African Party for Independence of Guinea and Cape Verde. His former party is presenting the former Prime Minister is sacked from office in 2015, Domingo Simão Pereira, as presidential candidate. Now, 2 of them are in the race into this presidential palace alongside 10 other contestants, among whom are 3 former Prime Ministers. With the election stage already set, ECOWAS is expressing commitment to the cause of political stability in Guinea-Bissau, deploying long and short-term observers across the national capital and several regions of the country to ensure a peaceful and acceptable election.
There will be no winner, no loser. The only winner will be the country.
ECOMIP is ensuring the international community that the atmosphere is favorable for a peaceful election. From Guinea-Bissau, Musbah and Wahab, NTA News.
Many thanks, Musbah. And from other news from across the globe, the United Kingdom has been called an illegal colonial occupier by Mauritius after it ignored the deadline to return control of an overseas territory to the island nation. The United Nations has given the UK 6 months to give up control of the Islands. but that period has now passed. Mauritius says it was forced to trade the small archipelago in the Indian Ocean in 1965 for independence. The UK says it does not recognize Mauritius' claim to sovereignty. British Foreign and Commonwealth Office insists it has every right to hold on to the islands, one of which is the Garcia, home to U.S. military air base. In May, the U.S. General Assembly voted overwhelmingly in favor of the Kogi Islands being returned, with 116 states backing the move and only 6 against it. You are watching the news on NTA International, reaching you from Abuja. Stay tuned for more news after the break. Thanks for staying with us. Let's talk security now. The Nigerian Army War College is to scale up battle solutions for the nation's emerging security challenges. This was highlighted by the Minister of Defense, Bashir Magashi, at the graduation course 3 of the institution. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa has the details.
Army War College Nigeria, Major.
This signifies the conferment of the fellowship of the prestigious Premier Army War College on these participants after 33 weeks intensive learning. The Army War College, established in 2017, is focused on developing the capacity of officers from the military, paramilitary and intelligence agencies in operational art, war management and strategic skills.
As today's operational level commanders, you constitute the nucleus of all security operations as it is in the level that surfaces between tactical and strategic level.
The 2019 course 3 had 66 graduates, with 2 allied officers from Cameroon and Congo. Colonel Oweshuejiga of the Nigerian Army emerged the best graduate. From the Nigerian Army War College in Abuja, Ismail Musa, NTA News.
And from the judiciary comes the report that a federal high court seat in Abuja has deferred ruling on the bail application of the former chairman pension reforms tax team, Abdulrasheed Maina. Justice Okon Abag predicated his decision on the willingness of both parties involved in the matter to proceed without Maina's medical report. Olabode Arewa reports.
Abdulrasheed Maina was slated for continuation this Thursday. He arrived in the court, aided in working by officials of the Nigeria Correctional Service. The proceedings began with the prosecution counsel, Salisu Abubakar, indicating readiness to commence the trial. Francis Oronsaye, counsel to Abdulrasheed Maina, called attention to pending bail application and the medical report on his health condition being expected from the Nigeria Correctional Service. The prosecution objected, arguing that since the said medical report was yet to be furnished on the court, the trial should continue. The second defense counsel, Adeola Adedipe, insisted that the court must conduct findings on Maina's health condition, or else the court's decision will be nullified at the appeal courts. The presiding judge, Justice Okonabang, took exceptions to this submission. He nevertheless went ahead to adjourn proceedings to Monday, 25th of November for ruling on the bail application.
The court even made an order for the Deputy Comptroller General of Nigerian Correctional Services to come with a medical report ascertaining the health status of the first defendant, which unfortunately is not here today. So it's not proper and fair to say we are frustrating the case.
Meanwhile, a short adjournment was observed during the proceedings to attend to Maina when he became ill in the courtroom. In Abuja, Olabode Arewa, NTA News.
Away from that, a progressive property developer, T-Pumping Concepts Limited, has completed and inaugurated its corporate head office to facilitate its vision of being a real estate development company that will provide the highest number of decent, accessible, comfortable, and affordable houses for Nigerians. Justin Bemonye reports that this new state-of-the-art office complex located in Abuja was inaugurated by the Minister of Women Affairs, Pauline Talin, amidst glamour and fanfare.
T-Pumping Concept
Developers of these estates along Airport Road and other parts of Abuja currently has an array of 22 estates in Lugbe, as the company is involved in selling and developing all types of estate lands for residential, educational, commercial and recreational purposes. The company's new corporate head office, unveiled in the heart of Abuja, is said to be a booster to its operations in the real estate development for the benefit of Nigerians. The inauguration was an avenue for the company to announce its just completed T-Pumpy estate in Gusape, which is a 5-bedroom terrace.
In Gusape, what we are taking there, nobody has done it. If you make a little deposit as low as 4,999,000, you own a space and you can pay you the balance, which is 75 million in the space of 18 months. That's what we are launching. We're coming in with another fantastic project, and I think it's the best because half there is 4-bedroom, 5-bedroom duplex terrace for the big boys there. Then if you don't have even up to $1 million, we have a package that can accommodate such intended subscriber.
Minister of Women Affairs Pauline Talent commended the company's initiative to boost housing in the FCT and also empower women in the course of its operations, as she made a case for further consideration of the women folk in housing delivery.
We have so many vulnerable women, especially who are abused in marriage, who have nowhere to have shelter. I spoke to him on the need to do a low housing that will support women.
Since inception in 2009, T-Pumpy Concept says it has assisted hundreds of Abuja residents to own houses through an arrangement that makes payment for land easy and convenient. In Abuja, Justin Bemunyi, NTA News.
Turning to youth empowerment, Nigerian youth must take advantage of the large African market and the political will, as well as the enabling environment provided by the federal government to make themselves self-reliant. Managing Director, Nigerian Film Corporation, Chidi Madekwe, said this during an entrepreneurial training organized for youth drawn from the north central zone of the country. Adebola Brookslyn Sunday reports.
Every year, higher institutions of learning turn out graduates who are thrown into the labor markets. These youths, all of them undergraduates, have been trained by resource persons from relevant fields in the areas of script writing, film production, non-linear editing, makeup and cinematography.
It will sharpen me up.
Anthony and Sarah have already made up their minds not to only be self-reliant, but employers of labor.
Even here, still being an undergraduate, I've started putting them into practice, giving jobs to some of my colleagues, even those that are ahead of me.
I see acting now from a better perspective because it has been able to sharpen my horizon and my scope.
For Dr. Chidi Madekwe, the program is in line with the quest of the Buhari administration to create jobs for citizens.
To pull people away from poverty, we are committed to it. There is no going back to it. So when we say next level, that is what the next level means. Taking people from the base level they have existed into the new level of empowerment, of feeling that they can do it by themselves, they can feed for themselves.
Just like what we do in my school, NTA Television College, just. So it's like it's an added knowledge to what we've learned here.
About 300 youths have so far benefited from the zonal trainings scheduled to take place nationwide. Adebola Brookslyn Sunday, NTA News.
And next is sports updates with Ayodeji Waki.